Can a womanizer be changed or reformed? In this video, we're going to talk about womanizers, about why this happens in their lives. Why? A womanizer needs a lot of women. And is there anything that can be done about it? Can he be somehow reformed? It's common for women to have the misconception that they can heal a man with their love. And in some situations, it is indeed possible. But for the most part, women are mistaken. First, what are the reasons that a man is a womanizer? And the first reason is a lack of self-confidence. Victories are about significance. They're about self-worth. When a man has a lot of women, meaning he cycles through them, he's conquered a new one, and that becomes his new trophy, and he holds on to that feeling for a while. As time goes on, it's not enough for him. He needs a new victory to boost his self-esteem. And this lack of self-confidence often drives a man to seek out new victories. As soon as a man starts feeling bad about himself, not good enough, by being with someone good, he confirms his self-worth. Next, fear of commitment. A man might find himself in a situation where he fears commitment. And for him, it's a threat to his independence. And this switching of women is like the opportunity to live without denying himself anything and without threatening his freedom and independence. He understands that he's free as the wind. And when he needs to, he changes women as it suits him. Next, emotional wounds. When a man has experienced pain in a relationship, whether it was his first or second love, and that love brought him some strong emotional trauma, if he then decides in his mind that no woman will ever treat him like that again, he might either start punishing all women or just feed his ego and keep them at a distance. Already, in other words, not letting anyone get close to his soul, just getting what he wants and moving on. Next, narcissism. Here, a woman is seen as a way to satisfy one's own needs, and a womanizer is often a narcissist. He compensates for all his needs through a woman. Everything he lacks, and it is not necessary, some kind of intimate relationship. He can suck out everything. Energy, feelings, emotions, anything. He takes from a woman. It's just a resource. He won't give anything back. And social stereotypes are another reason for womanizing. There are, let's say, such groups of people when, for example, men gather in companies and they think that it is, well, for example, somehow cool, wonderful to have a mistress, 2 or 3. And then, for example, in this environment, it is the norm. And the one who does not have a mistress, for example, is a white crow. And the same goes for womanizing. For example, if all the men in that group are swapping women like they're changing gloves, going from one to another to a third without any long-term relationships, and one of them tries to build something serious, he's going to stand out as different. So social stereotypes are really important too. So next up, why do women fall for womanizers? And this is it. It's a common problem because they fall for the womanizers' tricks, and not just because womanizers are something special. There are also personal reasons. The first reason, yeah, it could be looks, but more often it's charisma. A womanizer with low self-esteem, he already understands how to approach women. He knows what to say. He knows how to behave. He knows how to keep the intrigue. He can create an emotional swing. He knows everything about a woman. And now it's easy for him to win her attention and affection. So this attractive appearance and charisma, this is the first factor that can make a woman feel something for a guy like that. But then there's the next factor, the illusion of special treatment. A woman starts to imagine in her head that she's the chosen one. She might have already figured out that he's a womanizer. Maybe he's not even hiding it from her. Perhaps he flirts with steel women in front of her. But she thinks that she is special. She is the chosen one. And she is the one who will cope with his womanizing. And this is a common trap for women because women have this tendency to endow themselves with some kind of properties. That my love can heal him, fix him. And this is a huge mistake, not just for women who get involved with womanizers. It's a mistake that all women make when they try to save someone with their love. So I haven't really succeeded with anyone in particular, but I think I can make it work. So the first thing you need to do is get rid of those illusions. Just push them aside. Another point, a womanizer is like a challenge. So she's thinking, can I take on this guy? A womanizer, That is, she understood, perhaps immediately from his first behavior, that he was a womanizer. Maybe she liked him. His charisma caught her attention. But she thinks I can handle him. He will fall in love with me. It's just that he hasn't met anyone like me. And again, she's throwing herself a challenge. She falls in love and, for example, she can't do anything about it anymore. And then he feels pain and disappointment. Next, emotional dependency. And here, a woman can end up being in a relationship with a womanizer for a long time. So he can come to her, disappear, and then come back. And she's waiting for him. She's in such an emotional dependency on him. And she hopes that something will change. She hopes that he will change. And that hope gives her the feeling that someday everything will change and he will be by her side. And here too, the influence of past childhood experiences can influence the moment why a woman falls in love with a womanizer. Her father was a womanizer, and her mother turned a blind eye to all his cheating adventures. Some betrayals, like leaving the family for a while, and then coming back. And the girl, no matter how she perceives her dad's cheating as betrayal or something unacceptable, might end up attracting that same behavior into her own life. Can a womanizer be changed? And now, here's the question that will concern those women who have gotten involved with a womanizer. Can he be changed in any way? And to start off, I'll say that anything is possible. In fact, everything is possible, but only if there is a sincere desire on the part of the womanizer himself. If he really understands the problem and he understands that he is already tired, for example, of proving something to himself, of raising. So, if he has realized and understood, and if he no longer likes this situation himself, then you can take further action. The depth of the problem. Here, it's important to understand how much, man, there are problems. So if he's willing, then it's actually easier for a man to see a therapist to understand whether these are childhood traumas or issues he's picked up over time. Why does a man assert himself this way? What's going on with him? If the man is ready, then there's nothing impossible, but there are men who will never change. These are men who have experienced a deep emotional trauma, and there are narcissistic men. So here the chances of change are pretty much zero. So if you realize that you are dealing with a narcissist, then it's better not to waste your time. And the support of a partner, it's such an important step. And really, a woman shouldn't lose herself in this process. Because trying to re-educate, reshape, or change a womanizer, working on him, sending him to therapy, or having some kind of talks, or working on yourself independently, that's going to be hard work. And if a woman completely dissolves in this process, if she begins to lose herself, if she begins to feel unhappy, this again will not lead to anything good. If you understand that you have the resource to help, then you can help and try to do something about it. But if you realize that you're draining yourself, then it's time to think about that. That's all I have for this video. It was me, Alisa Vardomskaya, with you. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Leave a comment about what you'd like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell. Bye.